Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. The NBA Finals just concluded, and I want to show you my findings from recording what I thought to be scripting throughout the NBA season. And what first caught my eye early in the year was LeBron James visiting the Portland Trail Blazers and losing with a score of 82 to 101. In this game, he had his career worst game, matching an effort from his rookie season 12 years ago. LeBron's record low is 11 points, and he just had an off game. And what really stood out to me, Truth Seeker, from watching this is that I knew that the name LeBron James summed to 114 in simple English gematria. And November 4th, 114, is a lot like the number 114. Plus, if you can recall, November 4th last year was election day for the 114th Congress. And check this out real quick, Truth Seeker. Here's in simple English gematria, LeBron James sums to 114. Right now, the leader of the 114th Congress is John Boehner, leader of the 114th Congress, also from Ohio. John Boehner sums to 114 in simple English gematria. So that number lining up with the state of Ohio, where LeBron and John Boehner are both from, and then syncing up with Election Day and the 114th Congress. Anyway, looking at how all of this was coming together, I thought that maybe this was a very important game and somehow was signifying what the NBA Finals might be. So check this out, Truth Seeker. The Portland Trail Blazers have a relation to this year's NBA Finals indirectly. The Portland Trail Blazers have only won one championship in the history of their franchise. That was against the Philadelphia 76ers in the 1976-77 season, so 38 years prior. Okay, so what's that have to do with anything? Well, this year, the Golden State Warriors won the NBA Finals, and the Golden State Warriors are originally from Philadelphia. They were the Philadelphia Warriors, and they won the first ever NBA championship in 1947. 47, an important number in sports. So check this out, Truth Seeker. From November 4th to 114 days later, 114 days later, was their matchup against the Golden State Warriors, in which the Cavs won 110 to 99. The Cavs earned their 37th win. The Warriors had their 44th and remained there. And just to show you this math here, you can go to day calculator on your web search, punch this in. From November 4th, 2014 to February 26th, 2015 is a span of 114 days, like LeBron James, or 3 months and 22 days. Interesting, isn't it? So from LeBron's career worst game against Portland on November 4th to his season high where he scored 42 points. LeBron scored 42 season high. And what's interesting about the Warriors and Cavs is that they both retired the number 42 jersey of Nate Thurman. Both teams retired the same player, number 42, Nate Thurman. NBA Finals in Pythagorean gematria is 33, and with the S exception, 42. A lot like the number they both retired. Tonight, the Warriors won the series 4-2. LeBron James's name equals 42 in Pythagorean gematria. He's on a 2-year, $42 million contract. Sums to 114 in simple English gematria, 42 in Pythagorean gematria. So anyway, Truth Seeker, let's see if I got this up here. The NBA Finals this year, in Game 1, the game went to overtime 98 to 98, and it came exactly 98 days. Exactly 98 days after they played the Golden State Warriors last. The game that we just looked at where LeBron scored 42. The NBA Finals started 98 days later, and the game went to overtime with a tie score of 98 to 98. Remember that number 98. It's going to factor in with Andrea Igudola, the NBA Finals MVP. Also, True Seeker, what I want to point out is where this number 98 comes from is this festival, Lupercalia. Lupercalia, this ancient Roman festival. Lupercalia takes place on February 13th and ends February 15th. From February 13th to the first day of the NBA Finals, June 4th, was a span of 111 days or 3 months and 22 days. In Jewish gematria, NBA Finals sums to 322, and in simple English gematria, 111, just like the span of days from Lupercalia to the beginning of the NBA Finals, which was all about the number 98. And of course, Lupercalia has a simple English gematria of 98. Lupercalia equals 98. The Golden State Warriors won it. The 98th element on the periodic table is called Californium. No joke. Just makes you wonder. If you guys think this sounds loony, I've been writing about it for years, showing how this stuff continually is happening in all sorts of stories, not just sports. This is how our matrix of this world is set up. Why? Because a group known as Zionist Jews runs our media, runs our sports leagues, and they're playing a mental mind fuck on us all. How sports fans can't see that sports are rigged is beyond me. I've seen it since I was a little kid. It took me this long to take it this far and figure out exactly how it is rigged. But here I am, showing everybody who wants to know what's really going on. Let's see, True Seeker. So we covered the Lupercalia connection. Now let's look at the NBA Finals MVP, Andre Iguodala. He played the majority of his career, True Seeker, with the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, the Golden State Warriors are originally from Philadelphia, won the first ever NBA championship. He used to be a solid player. His production declined. Notice how this year, even before the NBA Finals, he was only averaging 7.8 points per game. And the year before, prior, 9.3 points per game, a curious total. So 2 down years, and then all of a sudden emerges to be the NBA Finals MVP. Well, I'm pretty sure the reason why is because this series is trying to connect back to Philadelphia. And with regards to Philadelphia, they had a recent train crash, an Amtrak train crash at 9:23 p.m., and everything about it was connected to this Lupercalia as well, just like the NBA Finals. So somehow I think these NBA Finals are a tribute to Philadelphia and what might be coming to that city September 23rd. Notice that Amtrak has a 222 Jewish gematria. From Lupercalia to September 23rd, the train crash was at 9:23, a lot like the date, is a span of 222 days, matching Amtrak. And everything about this incident was 98. 98th Mayor Michael Nutter spoke on it. It was foreshadowed in 2 movies about train crashes in Pennsylvania, both with major 98 connections, Unbreakable and Unstoppable. The chief doctor who came out and talked about the fatalities, his name in gematria summed to 98. The inspector who said the train was going 106 miles per hour, a ridiculous speed, his name summed to 98. So I knew something was up with this 98, and then I finally connected it with Lupercalia. Also, True Seeker, September 23rd is the 266th day of the year. The 266th Pope Francis, will be visiting. And as people have pointed out, Pope Francis and Golden State have something in common. Pope Francis, Golden State. You see it? 122, 122. Lots of synchronicities here. And somehow these finals, Lupercalia, the train crash, it's all connected. In the case of the plane crash with Andreas Lubitz, do you remember this? The plane that suicidal pilot that crashed into the Alps in March 24th, 2015. This mainstream image of him in front of the Golden Gate Bridge was shown to us over and over and over. Would you believe that this span of days right here, from December 18th to March 24th, is exactly 96 days, like the word Freemason, like the Zionist Jew Freemasons who run our media and run sports? San Andreas sums to 96, like the fault line that runs through, and the Golden Gate Bridge also sums to 96. Think about it. Truth Seeker, I'm trying to show you so desperately how all this stuff syncs up. What's going on with the news, what's going on with sports, and where they are taking us. We are living out an epic, a predetermined narrative. The people who are running this world are laughing at us and distracting us with their bullshit like rigged sports games, mapped out by dates. Anyway, back to Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala, what's most curious about him is that his full name, first of all, sums to 84, like United States of America. Obama's born 8-4, the current president, the 44th president. With regards to Lupercalia, it's on the 44th day of the year. The word Lupercalia equals 44 with Pythagorean gematria on the 44th day of the year, February 13th. And in simple English gematria, 98, like we talked about. Sorry, Truth Seeker, I know it's a lot of numbers. I don't want to lose you. Trying to make as much sense and be as clear with all this information as possible. Anyhow, besides his name, his birthday is really interesting. January 28th, 1984. This date has numerology of 132. The Philadelphia train crash was on May 12th, the 132nd day of the year. Instead of taking my word for it, we'll do a quick web search. May 12th, the 132nd day of the year. Okay? So he has that connection. Digit for digit, it sums to 33, like NBA Finals with Pythagorean gematria. Like Cleveland. Cleveland's a city with 33 gematria, the only one in the NBA. His life lesson number, this is a little more interesting method, sums to 51, and maybe he just taught Cleveland a lesson 51 years since their last championship, which happened in 64. Remember, the NBA Finals began June 4th. Truth Seeker, get this. The college championship was on April 6th, the 96th day of the year. The NBA Finals began 6-4. 4-6, 6-4. You see the reflection? Coach K of the Blue Devils, his birthday is on Lupercalia, February 13th, the 44th day of the year. They defeated Wisconsin. Wisconsin's one of only two states with a gematria of 44. The other is Georgia. A sports fun fact, Truth Seeker, Michael Vick has the record for most 10-yard rushes or longer in an NFL season while with the Atlanta Falcons in Georgia. Guess how many? 44. It's sick, Truth Seeker. If you've ever wondered why those quarterbacks don't run more than they should, it's because it's scripted. That detailed. Anyway, moving back on. So he's got these connections. It's been 51 years since the last championship in Cleveland, or in Ohio, pro sports. And again, they're going to have to wait at least one more year, at least in the NBA. I suspect LeBron James will be in the finals next year, but not the Warriors. So the Warriors can enjoy their moment. I bet you LeBron's back next year. The Warriors are not. And also, with regards to Iguodala's life numbers, this method sums to 113. The names Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant sum to 113. Doc Rivers sums to 113. If you go back and look at Wilt Chamberlain's scoring records, notice how before he scored 100 points, his records were set on January 13th and November 3rd. 113. Lots of 113 tributes in sports. That was just the tip of the iceberg. But these numbers are of major importance. Also, Iguodala comes out of Chicago, or Illinois, Springfield actually. But I would say Illinois and Chicago as a state produces more professional basketball players than any other, and that doesn't surprise me because the Gang of 33, these Zionist Jews, they seem to be headquartered in Chicago and New York, and more of their agents seem to come out of Chicago than any other place, even though it's a smaller city than New York. So something's up with Chicago. I'm not surprised that Iguodala is from there. Notice Iguodala, the first thing he said when he got on the mic was, "First of all, I want to thank God." So often athletes use that That's saying, and I know a lot of people think, well, of course, so many people are spiritual and believe in God, but I swear when athletes say this, I think they mean something different than what we think. I think these athletes, when they say God, they're talking about something within this Masonic nastiness, and they know that's why they are where they are, so that's why they're saying what they're saying. I truly think that's what's going on with these pro athletes. They're not good people. They're sellouts. They're essentially stealing money and hurting all the people, their fans, you know? People shouldn't be a fan of anything. We need to get rid of this fanhood. That's part of the bullshit of our society. But anyway, people are fans. It's part of our society, and fans get their feelings hurt when things happen, such as their basketball team doesn't win, their football team doesn't win, their whatever. Their person doesn't win the movie award or the music award. Anyway, just look at Iguodala's little player profile here. You know how they say that they misstate player heights and weight, but they don't exactly know the rhyme or reason to it? Well, it might be because of things like this. We're talking all about the number 98. Look at his listed weight, 98 kilograms. How tall is he? He's 1.98 meters. 66 is a super important number, too. The first NBA final championship was in the year 47. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th season, the year 66. And with regards to the Bay Area, they established the Church of Satan in the year 66. Bay Area, San Francisco. He went to Lanphier High School in Illinois, having a gematria of 47. Remember, the Philadelphia Warriors won the first championship in 47. Iguodala played the majority of his career for the Philadelphia 76ers. Ohio is the only state in simple English gematria that sums to 47. Only one of 50. Oregon is the only state that sums to 74. That's the other point I want to make, True Seeker. In the beginning, we were talking about this game, Blazers versus Cavs. I want to point out that 3 teams joined the league 44 years ago. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Buffalo Braves, who are now the Los Angeles Clippers. So in other words, the only 2 teams remaining in their city with their names from 44 years ago were these 2 teams that met on November 4th, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And again, the Trailblazers' only championship is against the Philadelphia 76ers. And think about that. They beat them in the 76-77 season. See how by the numbers it is? Sometimes it's just like smack dab in your face. You can't even miss it. But anyway, all this stuff is synced up. This is what I want people to wake up to. Andre Iguodala, he won the Bill Russell MVP award. Check out Bill Russell gematria, Truth Seeker. Sums to 42, just like LeBron James, just like NBA Finals, just like Andre in simple English gematria. It's something else, isn't it, Truth Seeker? The synchronicities, the rigged hoax of our existence. From the stories we're presented, fake plane crashes, fake train crashes, rigged sports championships, and they're all synced up. Why? Because we've let a gang of goons dominate the world and not say anything about it. I'll give you one more fast fact. The name LeBron James, Truth Seeker. Let's get back to this real quick. This is important. This might be what all this is signifying and leading up to, because there's got to be a greater point, right? LeBron James sums to 114. We talked about this. John Boehner equals 114. It's the time of the 114th Congress. Look at this, Truth Seeker. World War sums to 114. Remember how we got in World War II? Something called Pearl Harbor, an island right next to Japan that Japan supposedly attacked. Long before that, Teddy Roosevelt once said we need to secure Hawaii for the benefit of the white race. A real quote. Truth Seeker, if you're not used to my work, look for my video called Piltdown Man. Like this. Piltdown. You'll be in for a treat. You'll learn something. You'll see how fake our existence is. I don't want to ruin it for you, but science once used to use Piltdown Man to show that white people were superior in intelligence to all other races. The conspiracy went on for 41 years until it was revealed to be a hoax. Piltdown equals 41. Well, how long the conspiracy lasted. Just like the word king. We're talking about King James here. Anyway, I haven't even got to the kicker yet. World War equals 114. Pearl Harbor equals 114. What's the big story out of World War II? The biggest lie ever told, even bigger than 9/11. All done by the same gang. Holocaust equals 114. Truth seeker. 6 million Jews never died. It's a bullshit story. And you know why they did it? Here, I'll tell you why they do it. Just pay attention to your mainstream media. If anybody starts to talk about the problems of their people from history, they're told to shut the fuck up and get over it unless they're Jews. If they're Jews, then we need to get on our knees and feel sorry for what happened to them in the Holocaust, all those poor Jews. Oh, those Jews. Bzzz. The Jews are the real enemy. The Jews are who are running this sick charade and these rigged everything. Need to wake the fuck up. Holocaust and Pythagorean gematria sums to 33. Just like the number they put on all their hoaxes. That's why it's on Holocaust, NBA Finals, and the rest. Because this is their show. So now you know what's really up. And if you want to deny it, then you're just a denier. But this is what's really up. Here, you want me to solve the JFK assassination? He was shot from 411 Elm Street. Think about that. Elm Street. Get this. Assassin. 411. The reverse of 114. What's the word kill equal, truth seeker? 44. Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated April 4th. First president to die in office, William Henry Harrison, died April 4th. Notice that they code the number 59 and 42 all over black people. I've done videos on this. Look at this connection between 59, 44, and kill. Think about what president number Obama is, the 44th. What did he run on? He ran on hope. I'm getting tangential, but the point is why I do these videos is to expose what's up on this world. I've been able to see that it was rigged somehow in this way since I was a very young age, but I didn't know the numbers. Now I see the numbers and it doesn't even surprise me. Because I know I've been laughed at my whole life by these people, and I've always thought it's too bad all the morons around me who say I'm wrong can't see it. Sometimes I wish I could be as sheepish as them, but I just can't. I don't know how people can watch LeBron James intentionally lose. Ugh, it's just too easy to see through. Alright, Truth Seeker, I'm going to cut it off there. Until next time. Truth Seeker, one last quick point. The word loser was used a lot today about LeBron even before he lost. ESPN was running with this word all day. And, I mean, it's just pretty insulting to be referred to as a loser when, you've taken your team to the championship. But the point they were trying to make is that he's the greatest loser in the NBA Finals maybe ever. Anyway, loser in Pythagorean gematria sums to 24 with the S exception 33. LeBron became 2-4 today in NBA Finals. 2 wins, 4 losses in his 6 appearances. The exact opposite of Tom Brady, who's been in 6 Super Bowls and won 4 and lost 2, with both of his 2 losses coming to New York. So, for Cleveland, their accomplishment was they won their first game in an NBA Finals series this year. They've only been twice now. They won their first game in an NBA Finals. They won 2 this year. And notice that LeBron lost the series also 2-4, like his record in NBA Finals. Also syncing up with loser here. And with regards to 33, Cleveland equals 33. Last night on WWE Raw, which was in Cleveland the night before the finals, the man got up and taunted the city of Cleveland and said they'll never win another championship. Perhaps it's true. All right, until next time.